Well, that said, let's go into our first set of results. And to summarize, in 2012, survey respondents were optimistic about spending in 2013, with 88% of survey respondents stating that IT spending would, in fact, increase in 2013. Industry analysts also painted a positive outlook at this time. However, of course, we mentioned external factors, specifically which could have potentially influenced the IT industry in a whole. In the United States specifically, we had a government shutdown which lasted approximately 2 weeks, affecting 800,000 federal workers. While this obviously had an obvious short-term effect on government consulting, the implications on IT talent meant major functions such as E-Verify backgrounds would not be available during this time. As a result, industry analysts such as IDC lowered their forecast for 2013, but still remained bullish on the potential for increased spend in 2014. So based on this information, we asked survey respondents if spending in 2013 did in fact increase over the previous year, where did the IT investments take place, and whether or not spending would increase in the new year. So when it came to IT spend, the 88% prediction made last year was not too far off, as 81% of survey respondents did in fact report that IT spending increased. Interesting drill down, though, shows that 60% of IT professionals in the government and or not-for-profit sector indicated that IT spend increased as well. This brings us to our first question, and I'll go to you, Arun. How do you interpret this? What are you seeing from this?
In my observations, and these are based upon our frequent conversations with the C-level suite of executives, most major corporations, despite the recessionary trend, did go forward with spending more in 2013. We also concluded, or this also tallied in with how we ourselves performed during the year of 2013. Now that the books are closed for the year, we have recorded a gain in revenue, and therefore we did get more business from our client base. So all of this is congruent with the economy and also your survey results.
An interesting take, Arun. Thank you. In concert with this number, here's an interesting comparison, whereas 73% of corporate IT departments awarded projects as compared to 67%, which represents an interesting reversal from 2012. But that might be due to higher competition and the proliferation of projects which require more skills. And in a similar pattern to 2012, we see that respondents indicated a broad spectrum of project values, but still, it resides in the smaller versus the larger value segments. Now, in concert with this, we asked a new question about their use of offshore resources in the current year and for the new year. And over 50% of respondents have actually indicated that they have not utilized offshore resources. And for 2014, it looks like the number is going to diminish even further, with 37% indicating that they will not utilize offshore resources. And this is kind of a bit of a surprising number. Conrad, I'll turn to you. Can you give some perspective on this?
George, you're right. This is a surprise even to us, because it has been our experience that most large corporations use offshore services in some measure. This is a number that we will be closely monitoring because it currently seems to fly in the face of our own experience.
Thank you for that insight, Conrad. Now, for 2014, in terms of predicted IT spend, we are seeing a trend of confidence, with 95% of survey respondents saying that IT spend will either increase or stay the same. Sue, I'm going to turn to you. What's your feedback on this? Do you agree with this?
I do, George. We're definitely seeing a guarded increase in spending in our larger clients. I use the term guarded because the line managers are now being required to go above and beyond with justification for their positions. They're being asked to get additional signatures before their budgets are approved. So this is all an added level of responsibility for the managers. That being said, The backlog is still tremendous for some of these companies, and I think that whereas the business users in the past year had been somewhat taken out of the equation as far as the spending, I believe that they will now be back in the equation, and I believe that will drive some of the higher budgets.
Interesting, Sue. Thank you very much for that.